So, hi guys, here we are, MMA UK News. Obviously, myself, Stoomboy, as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So, talking about Grapplefest 11. Grapplefest 11 is going to be Saturday, the 26th of February. Going to be at the usual place, so Fusion Nightclub, Fleet Street in Liverpool. Now, doors open, I believe, around about 3:30. First fight kicks off at 4 p.m. Grapplefest are very punctual with their fight times, so 4 p.m. will be the first slot. So make sure that you're in the venue, you've got your space. It is sold out, so obviously make sure you're in getting a space as quickly as possible. Now, as I mentioned, it is sold out, so stop messaging Chris Thompson because he doesn't have any tickets. People are still messaging him on a daily basis looking for tickets, but there is none at all, guys. So the only place you will be able to see it is on Fight TV. Now, you can download the app for Fight TV or you can go online. Prices $49.99 for the year, $4.99 for the month, or $14.99 just for the pay-per-view. So British pounds, what's I think it's about a tenner, which is an absolutely fantastic price for the matchups that you're going to see on the night. I believe there's about 30 something matches, which caters for everybody from blue belt right through to black belt. My guest today is going to be on the show. It's going to be Shane Curtis of Nottingham MMA. He's going to be up against Jeremy Pare of Gracie Baja. So Jeremy's coming over and going to be looking to take on Shane. Now, Shane's a Grapplefest veteran. I believe this is fourth or fifth time you're going to be on. So five times. This will be your fifth time, and obviously a Polaris veteran as well. So obviously here in the UK, everybody knows who Shane is and what he's going to bring. So Shane, listen, absolute pleasure to have you on, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you, mate. I think this actually is my 7th time.
Right.
So I've been on quite a few now, most of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
First one back when I was a purple belt.
Right. It's always good to see you on. I mean, as I say, you bring definitely bring the pace. It's a very, very exciting matchup whenever we see you. Obviously, you're it's very, very exciting to watch. And every single one that you've been on, even Polaris as well. I mean, that's why you know yourself, Chris Thompson and the Grapplefest team. They always want to bring on exciting matches. So that's kind of testament to the fact that you've been on so many times.
Yeah, I mean, and this is my first time on the main card as well, so I must be doing something right.
Definitely. That's very, very exciting to watch. And then what about you? Obviously, training wise, then. So, how's everything going training wise now that we are officially all back to full strength? How's everything going for you?
Yeah, it's all going really well, thank you. As of like June last year, June, July, I went full time coaching and training, and ever since then it's been really good.
Yeah,
being able to get more training in, more regular strength and conditioning, more rest, like me being able to train twice a day and still manage to get the rest in between as well. So it's nice, you know, like doing something you enjoy, but then like working towards something as well. All my other competitions that I've done since then is just, I think it shows.
Yeah. And you notice that as well. I mean, you mentioned their rest. A lot of people, as you know, have full-time jobs or part-time jobs, or they're studying at uni, college, or whatever. And the important thing that people forget is to be able to rest, to be able to take some time to yourself.
Yeah, you've got to be confident in your own ability and your own training in order to rest. Like, you've got to kind of ignore that feeling of that people get, like, of missing out. Like, you need to be confident enough to rest, but also knowing that you're not just resting because you're lazy.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm at that stage now where I know when I should and when I shouldn't rest. And it makes a big difference when I do.
Yeah, definitely. And we've got a comment coming in there from Grapplefest, just saying, do you have to keep the blinds closed to ensure his full goth lifestyle?
You know what? I hate having the blinds open.
And that's one thing I was going to mention, obviously, the tattoos, because obviously from seeing you in the early days, obviously you didn't have a lot of tattoos, and then as times went on, every single time you seem to step on the mat, there's a different tattoo, and it just went on and on and on from there.
Yeah, I've always liked tattoos. Like ever since I was younger, started getting them from like 17 onwards, and then progressively more and more, and then eventually kind of took that step, got my fingers and my neck and then my face done. Like, it was more so, I guess, when I decided that I was going to try to pursue this full time. So now I can't really go back, can I?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. What's your favourite tattoo? Do you have a favourite one?
I've got a back piece that's
Yeah,
not finished yet, but it's probably my favourite.
yeah,
That my girlfriend's doing for me. It's just taking its time. I've probably done about 20 hours on it so far, but
yeah,
yeah, when that's done, that's gonna be amazing.
yeah. And anybody that's had tattoos, 20 hours is a lot of work.
Yeah,
20 hours is
not
a.
all at once though. Definitely not.
I think the longest I spent in a tattoo seat was about 7 hours.
Yeah, seven
Which
or eight.
was
That is probably the
yeah.
same for me.
And that was the back one as well. Obviously, I got a back one, and it's like right across the top of my back, and there was a lot of detail in it, a lot of kind of different detail. It was all black. It's all just one
Mm,
color, but just the amount of detail and stuff like
yeah,
that went into it. And do you know it was funny because when they did the outline was sore. Don't get me wrong. You'll know this as well. The outline was sore, but then once he started shading it in, he got a phone call to say that one of his family members wasn't well. And as I said, I was feeling, I was in absolute pain. And I was saying, look, if you want to stop now and go and see your family, on you go, mate. I'll come back at a different time. And he's like, no, listen, we'll just finish it. So yeah, it's a tough one, the back one. Very,
yeah.
very tough.
I think because my girlfriend does it as well,
Yeah.
it just, I don't know. I feel like I can just be like, right, we're done now. Like, we're good for the day. So I can stop and start whenever I want.
Definitely, definitely. And then obviously Grapplefest 11 then. So as you've been a regular, you're a regular face on Grapplefest. How did you find out that you were going to be on this one?
Like me and Chris kind of stay in touch a little bit anyway, here and there. I was initially offered a different opponent. I won't say who it is, but as far as I know, he didn't accept it. And then I kind of messaged Chris, and he was like, "We're still going to get you on." And then eventually he came to me with Jeremy, and I just accepted straight away. Like, I'm not one to even think about it.
Yeah, yeah. Jeremy as well. Jeremy's got a big kind of reputation. Certainly Gracie Baja and so on. So obviously trains with Kendall Rusing and stuff like that. I know he's coming over for a lot of seminars and so on. And obviously I
Mm,
spoke to him and absolutely sound guy as well when talking to him. Young, I think he's only 20-year-old or something. So and he was the same, man. He said when he got offered the fight, he was absolutely buzzing to obviously be on Grapplefest and things like that. So it's good. It's good to see. I mean, Chris is putting on some of the top matches, or not just Chris, but obviously the full team at Grapplefest are putting on some absolutely fantastic matches from people all over the world.
yeah, there's some really good matches. Like, I'm biased, but I'm particularly looking forward to seeing Paul versus Owen.
Yeah,
Like, Paul's been on Grapplefest a few times, but still people don't know Paul, and they don't just no one understands how good he is. Like, on a daily basis, I get my ass handed to me by him. Like, I
yeah,
know just how good Paul is, and I think a lot of people underestimate him.
yeah, yeah,
Like, he's been around for a while. He's not competed that much. To be fair, if it weren't for me, he probably wouldn't be competing. And he says that himself half the time. Like, I know I've tried to push him to do it, and he does it more often now.
yeah,
But yeah, he just people are gonna know after this.
yeah. That's one thing. I mean, as I said, I've been in the game for about 8 years, and I've seen some absolute killers in the gym that don't compete.
Yeah,
Um, that if they did compete, and you always say to them, "Why you not compete?" Because I just don't want to. Um, but these are some of the guys that, if you were to put them in competition, they would run through most people.
yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? To think that they're that good, and then they're just like, yeah, I'm just happy in the gym.
Yeah, yeah. And then Grapplefest just again saying they totally agree with you. Paul and Owen is definitely a dark horse for fight of the night.
Yeah, for definitely. Like, Paul's matches on Grapplefest are always good. Like,
Yeah,
especially like his match between Lee Simpson as well. That was crazy. Like, Paul cut a lot of weight for that as well. So he still managed to put a good pace on too. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I think people are gonna Paul's gonna get out there. His name's gonna get out there a bit more now after this match, and then people are gonna realize, because I just see people talking about how Paul, rest in peace, Paul, or Paul's gonna get dumped on his head.
Yeah.
For one thing, like people, I've told him he don't wrestle Owen, so hopefully he doesn't get dumped on his head. But like, yeah, people don't know Paul, but they will.
Yeah, definitely. And then Aaron East, MMA UK's Aaron East, you're saying, obviously being part of Grapplefest for as long as you have, is there an opponent that you have yet to face with the organisation that you're hoping to be paired against one day in the not too distant future? So who would be your ideal if you were to pick have anybody at all? Who would you want?
Anyone.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be some. Okay. It'd be fucking amazing to get one of the Rutolos.
Yeah.
Like, sort of like a goal, shall we say.
Yeah.
Like, I rolled with one. I rolled with Cade, I think it was, at his seminar. I had a good little move about. And they're amazing, but I still think that it's doable. Like, as long as you show up, anything's possible.
Yeah, definitely. So there we go, Chris. There we go. Any one of the Rutolos, any one of them at all, or anyone in particular?
Nah, either. They're both smaller than me, so, but their arms are well long. So stay away from them darters.
Definitely. So there we go, Chris. There's a future matchup, definitely
But
in the
just to
pipeline.
say, they are both sound.
Yeah.
So I'm not sounding like a dickhead trying to call them out, but that would be like, yeah, a dream match just purely because of how much I respect them.
Yes, definitely. And then what about you then? So obviously 2022 is going to be our first full year, hopefully our first full year of events in the last 2 years. I think the last time, 2019, we had a full calendar. So obviously Grapplefest will be one of your main focuses. So what would you like to see yourself doing going forward, Shane?
Well, following Grapplefest, I'd like to get on it again this year, following a good win. And there's one thing I've been saying as well. I'd like to do some more just normal tournaments this year, just to like help me kind of hone everything I've been working on. Like I see Ashley Williams out there competing most weekends, just doing normal tournaments, and I kind of get a bit jealous. Because I can't compete every weekend because I'm coaching. I coach at Nottingham Trent University as well now. Coach at the gym, teach private, so I'm not free every weekend. But I want to try and make sure that I can fit in some time to do tournaments like that because I enjoy the tournaments, and I think if anything, it helped. That like I've heard people say this before about doing a normal tournament can be somewhat more nerve-wracking than an actual super fight.
Yeah.
And I'd like to get in there a bit more so it feels less like that.
Yeah. I think as well, I mean, the tournament, I mean, especially if you go in, let's say you got 4, 8 people in the division or whatever. So you obviously with a super fight, you can focus on one person. Whereas obviously in a tournament, you're having to focus on 7 other people.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't really know what you're going to get, do you?
Yeah. And we see it with Ash. You mentioned Ash. Ash is obviously out there smashing it. It must be horrible for some people going in the division and then seeing Ash Williams standing in front of you. Don't get me wrong, it's great because obviously he's one of the best. But as I said, it must at the same time, you must be thinking, fuck, I could have picked easier days.
Especially if it's the purple, brown and black divisions as well. You've just got your purple belt and you're thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be good. And then you've got to face Ash Williams.
But listen, it's awesome to see what he's doing. And I say, hopefully we'll see you 2022 getting out there and getting in the mix as well. So
yeah, that's the plan, as much as I can.
Yeah, and then final thing for you then, Shane. So obviously you've been in the game for a minute. You've been in for a while. So anybody you want to shout out to? So any kind of friends, family members, teammates, or even any sponsors that you may have.
I do want to say a big shout out to my girlfriend though first, Becca, because if it weren't for her and the support that she has given me to actually go full time and like kind of convince me that it was kind of possible, then I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Yeah.
And then I've got all my sponsors. I've got Scramble, Subguards, Andrew Hardwick at Brotherhood Health and Performance, and role models as well. Role models have been a big supporter of me back from when I was a blue belt. I'm undefeated on role models at the moment, so I'm looking hopefully get another super fight on there at some point. And yeah, they sponsored me from when I hit purple belt, and they've been with me ever since. And I appreciate David Leatherbeard, like all the guys there that helped me out, and just my team really. Nottingham MMA. Paul has been an amazing coach, and I want everyone else to see how good he is, which they're gonna.
Yeah.
And just anyone else really that I've trained with, like who's come to the gym and sparred with me. Like I train with Sean Madonna, and me and Paul, we train with him on a regular basis. So that's another high level competitor that we get to share the mats with too. If I have missed anyone, then I'm very forgetful. So
listen, you guys know who you are. You definitely know who you are. And then Grapplefest just come in with one other comment. Grapplefest are giving you it tight, Shane. So Cade said he took it easy on Shane as he was scared as he hadn't had enough sunlight and was a vitamin D deficient.
I'm never gonna live down the fact that I'm a vegan and Chris thinks I'm a goth.
So it's all love, though. It's all love from Grapplefest, as we know. So there we go, guys. We're going to have Shane Curtis, Nottingham MMA, up against Jeremy Pare of Gracie Baja. It's going to be Saturday, 26th of February, Fusion Nightclub, Fleet Street in Liverpool. As I said, tickets are sold out. So the only place you'll be able to get to see this is on Fight TV. So make sure you either go online, register, or download the app. And as I mentioned, prices for it, if you're only going for this pay-per-view, $14.99. So a tenner for 30-something of the best fights that you're going to see in the UK in February. So yeah, guys, make sure you get on Fight TV. So Shane, listen, absolute honour and a privilege to speak to you, buddy.
Thank you, likewise. And at least I know how to pronounce Jeremy's name now because I've been calling him Jeremy Pare.
Well, do you know, I said the same thing, and then when I spoke to him, I said, how do you pronounce your name? He's like, Jeremy Pare. So I was like, right, cool. Because I was the same. I was like, Jeremy Pare. But no, it's Jeremy Pare. So an awesome name, So, but listen, I'll be at Grapplefest on the night, so we'll obviously grab a chat with you and Paul. So I'm looking forward to coming in and seeing you guys in action.
Nice one. Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
No problem, brother. Thank you again, and we'll speak to you next week. Okay, in a couple of weeks, buddy.
Nice one. Take care.
Thank you.